All right, so here we are in Kolkata, India, and I am sitting here with
Diptanshu Roy.
and I am Tara Linhardt, and I obviously have another mandolin player, and you can never have enough mandolin players. I mean, it's just true. I guess we met sort of through
Facebook.
Facebook recommendation of similar friends that play music.
Yeah.
And that brings me to the question of just like, how have you found music to bring community and friends together?
That's a great question, because I think my wife talks about it all the time. I mean, we've made so many new friends just because of music. I mean,
does she also play?
She does. I mean, not professionally, but she likes to sing a little bit, and she can play the piano a little bit. But she's very supportive of the music, and she gets to travel with me for all the gigs.
Oh, that's great.
And she used to manage one of our bands. So I mean, she would also book us for festivals and all that.
Right. So there's the professional side of music, but also just in terms of like, have you found that even within the fans as well as in the musicians, like a sort of a feeling of community that ends up developing?
Yes, absolutely. That's what I was coming to. I mean, firstly, if you have a mandolin case with you, I mean, people would come up and say hello sometimes and say, I'm also a musician. And it is a visual sign that you belong to the community. I mean, as when you carry a guitar case or a fiddle case or a mandolin.
That's so true.
I mean, so it's visually all there. I mean, part of the community.
Right.
So
it's not just a badge. It's
yes,
it's a big sign.
It's a big sign. It's a
yeah.
neon sign, and it is. I have, I think I have friends in all corners of the world because I play the mandolin, and that's so great because we have a starting. I mean, every musician has. It's very easy to start a conversation. I mean, even if you don't know the language well, I mean, you still can have a musical conversation. And in India as well, I mean, there is a community, very big community in Indian classical music. Folk music has a different community. I mean, if you get into the villages, and every folk musician knows each other, and they try to help each other out. And it's a little fragmented when it comes to the commercial Bollywood, and because it's all about
Then you start getting business.
It's a lot of business as well, and who's losing out and who's gaining. I mean, there is that feeling, though there is a fairly tight knit community. So I think it is a norm with any arts. Not just music, but music is definitely, like I said, it's a visual. I mean, you're always carrying, unless you're a singer.
Well, I think too, as the arts go, music, because we jam. I mean, we just played a song. It's in G. It's 3 chords, and we just literally met each other moments ago.
Yes.
And we thought, well, it can always play Foggy Mountain Special, and sure enough, we had a great time, and we hadn't even really talked yet.
Yes.
So. The fact that it's something that musicians play together. I know a lot of people who paint, and they are alone when they're painting, and though they may get together and encourage each other and other painters. I think music is an interesting art form in that to do it and really do it well, especially those of us that are used to being in a band. We need to make friends.
Yes.
We have to make friends.
We have to play with someone.
We have to play with someone.
Yeah,
I don't want to make someone listen to 2 hours of mandolin solo by myself. I always have to make friends with a keyboard or a piano, guitar, tempura, something, sarod, somebody else.
Yes.
So, any other instruments you play, or did you always play mandolin? Or
I always played the mandolin, but I do play the guitar a little bit. I can play the dotara, which is like the lute of. I mean, you can call it lute if you would, and that's from Bengal. So
we are in Bengal.
I wish I got my dotara, but I don't. I usually don't.
You're on your way home from work, basically. Yeah. I mean, this was sort of last minute.
Yes.
We fly out tomorrow, and We just
Yeah.
figured out that we were both
So
here,
glad
so
we can,
had to get together,
yeah.
get mandolins together. So it's an interesting choice, because did you grow up in this area?
And
you-
mostly I'm
How
from
did
Calcutta.
you
Yeah.
first hear about mandolins?
So the funny story is like we live in a really old big house, like many Calcuttans do, and one of the areas in our house which was locked up for many years, we figured out that it was being rented out to a instrument maker at some point, and they had left, they had locked it up and left and didn't pay rent for a long time, and then we broke it open and we found a few broken instruments over there. And there were a few guitars, and there was one mandolin. And I, being the youngest, I got the smallest. So, I have two brothers who, both of them play the guitar, and I took the mandolin, so we started learning together. And one of them is professionally doing music, and I'm sort of doing it professionally.
So you're like Clarence and Roland White, basically. One he plays guitar and he plays.
Oh, right. Yes,
mandolin,
yes.
Younger
Sort
one
of,
plays
yes,
mandolin, yeah.
yes. But we haven't played professionally, or we haven't
Right,
played in many
right.
years now.
But just the brothers.
Because my brother lives in, my cousin, he lives in a different city now. So,
Oh, that happens, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've traveled around the world some with music too, I believe,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So where all have you gone, and how did that happen?
So we do have a band, called Fiddlers Green, and we do Indian music, and Indian folk music and we mix it up with other folk styles. Like if it's a Bengali song, I would probably put in some bluegrass licks in that, or some some Kelsmore.
Wow, that sounds great.
Maybe a tarantula somewhere.
Yeah, we'll
So,
have to get together
yeah,
again sometime. I'd love to learn some of the Bengali songs.
I can play one for you. anytime.
Yeah.
So we went to many places. Whoever called us. We've to the US.
I laugh because people say, well, what kind of places do you play? And I would say, well, the kind of places they call me up. If they want to hire me, I'm probably for hire. I'll probably go if it works out for the payment and the travel.
Yes. So we toured the US the last time with our band, and I think we played in 4 or 5 cities, and then we played in France. Played a music festival in France, a mandolin festival in France.
I've heard of that. I so want to go to that.
It's a great small festival and very beautiful village in south of France.
And a lot of mandolins. How can you not want to go there?
Yes.
And everybody has to do that.
Yeah. So we played in England.
And I found too, like you were saying, when I've traveled around, it would be a lot less stress to travel without an instrument, because you don't have to worry about it on the airplane and checking temperature and all those things. But it is true. I pretty much show up anywhere in the world, and if I pull out my mandolin, people come up to me. I don't have to think of something to say or a way to meet people. I can just start playing, and then people start recommending other musicians in the area. Anything else you'd like to share with us about your music or your?
Yeah, so last few years have been very difficult for most musicians, I believe. Because of the pandemic and everything. I hope the scene recovers quickly, and festivals are beginning to happen again. Yes.
You should come to some fiddlers conventions where we all just play.
I have been to a few.
Have you been to
the
Galax?
I've been to the Shasta Fiddle Camp. Mount Shasta Fiddle Camp. I haven't been to Galax, but I have a friend who's born over there.
You have to come to Galax, because that's totally different from a camp or a festival where there's paid performers, because there's literally no structure to the day except there's a couple thousand good musicians and time.
Well, I'll have to make it there.
Yeah, so there's no classes, there's no workshops, there's no big bands or anything. There is the contest, which you should totally do. It's just a matter of making friends and jamming tunes and swapping licks. And if you do come, definitely let me know. I'll hook you up and to introduce you around. August. It's always first full week of August.
That's a good time to travel anyway.
It'll be a little hot, but you're from Kolkata, you'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
Yeah. Southwest Virginia can get hot and humid, but so it can cool fast. So there you go. Yeah, I basically think more people that play music, then the better, because we have
It is.
a lot of
It is.
fun
We
together.
have one world.
Yeah.
The vision of one
Makes
world.
the world a better place in
Yes,
some ways,
yes.
doesn't it? Anyway, well, thank you so much for joining me, and
Thank you. I mean,
I guess we'll
it was
maybe just play another tune or something.
yes, why not?
While we're here. Yeah. All right.